G'day guys, it's Jeff Ware here from BikeReview.com.au, and today I'm out testing the new Ducati 950 Multistrada. We're the first in Australia to test this bike, which is fantastic, and we've been on the roads a lot today, a lot of windy roads, a lot of country roads, even a little bit of dirt here. Although, you know, Ducati stated it is not really an off-road bike. It does have the enduro mode, and you can get the spoked wheels with the knobby tyres if you wish to. The reason Ducati say that is because it doesn't have much front suspension travel, which is true, which I'm just finding out today. But you know what, it's an unreal bike. It's an SUV, I guess, so you can take it on these kind of dirt roads. It's not a problem at all. So this bike is a Testastretta powered, so 937cc, the famous Testastretta engine, which is in the Hyper Motard, and the new Supersport, which is on its way shortly. It's an awesome engine. It's been around for a long time. Really tractable, linear, brilliant motor. So it's powered by that 937cc versus the Big Bang 1200, the big girl. So it's a lot less intimidating, a lot smoother, a lot more tractable power than the big bike. The reason Ducati have built this motorcycle is for the people that don't want to ride that big 1200. I mean, that thing's got some serious horsepower. It's heavy. It's a handful in the bush, and yeah, this is a lot less intimidating and a lot more usable, really, to be honest. I think it's a better bike off-road and also through the twisties so far, despite the less high-spec suspension. So what's the difference? It's got a dual-sided swing arm instead of the single-sided swing arm. It's got the same muffler as the big bike, slightly different geometry. It's got manually normal adjustable suspension, front and rear, instead of the skyhook suspension. It's got ABS, just like the other bike. It's got traction control, so it's got the full Ducati safety pack, but it's not quite at the same level as the Multistrada 1200. So yeah, it's a slightly less high-tech package, I guess. There, it hasn't got the cornering ABS and all that type of thing. It hasn't got the gyro in it to help with the cornering traction control and all that type of stuff. But it's still got the really good dash, a little bit more basic, but fantastic dash. And so far, riding the bike, I found it brilliant. The only downside for me is the brakes. Look, I don't rate the brakes anywhere near as good as the ones on the 1200. I'm thinking it must be the master cylinder, because it does have Brembo radial mount calipers down there, but it's got a very large amount of lever travel, around about 4 or 5 centimetres of lever travel before anything happens, and then the brakes are on very suddenly. So that's a bit of a shame. That's a real shame for me. But aside from that, you know, even though it's got the basic shock, it's fine. A little bit soft in the front, a bit firmer in the rear. So I've put a bit of compression dampening onto the front forks so far, but I'm going to continue further down that road to try and stop the front diving so quickly. It's nimble. It feels lighter than the 1200. So it's easier to chuck around in the corners. It's got heaps of ground clearance, stacks of torque on tap. I've tried all the modes so far. It's got sport mode, it's got touring mode, it's got urban mode, which is a reduction in horsepower right down, you know, by about 60% or something. And it's got an enduro mode, which I've just been trying out here. The urban mode's super smooth around town. We just came from Sydney, from the city, out here to the outskirts of Sydney. And the urban mode was fantastic. Really nice to ride in urban. Beautiful, smooth, perfect. No heat coming off the engine. It's just a nice bike to ride in traffic. And without the panniers on it at the moment, you can lane split as well, which is fantastic. Touring mode gives you a bit more power, still a nice smooth throttle, and generally a cruisy sort of a mode there. And you flick it to sport, and it really comes alive. It's so aggressive, and it's got that famous V-twin punch. So far, fantastic. Sort of low seat height. It's the lowest seat height of the Multistradas. It's got reasonably, you know, high bars, but not too high, so it's not huge like the Multistrada Enduro, for example, where you feel like you're reaching up here like this. It's very comfortable. I'm 187 centimetres and it's really comfortable. The mirrors are fantastic. It's fairly vibration free. It's got the adjustable screen here, up and down. Massive pillion seat, heaps of luggage room here. So yeah, I think it's a fantastic bike, and it's 10 grand cheaper than the 1200. So this won't do the big wheelies on the power and all that kind of stuff. So I do miss the power of the big bike, but this makes up for it in ease of use, handling, and just outright fun. And it's exceptional value. $20,000 versus $30,000. I can't believe it. So yeah, it's a fantastic motorcycle, great gearbox, heavy but smooth clutch. Generally nice to ride though, yeah. So for the full review, visit BikeReview.com.au. You can read the full test there. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day.